Hi, my name is Mary Kiley. I'm here to talk about my experience on Erikson's different developmental stages, and this is the first stage. So it goes from birth to about 18 months. This is called trust versus mistrust. Infants are born into this world and they are uncertain about their surroundings and environment around them. They look towards and heavily rely on their caregivers for support, to meet their needs, and for stability, basically. If the care is reliable and sustainable, it builds trust in the infant, and they can bring this trust and hope into other relationships in their lives and for future ones as well. This stage is all about feeling like a feeling of security and building that trust. For me, this stage, I was born premature at 3 pounds, 10 ounces, and 8 weeks early. I was in the hospital for the first 30 days of my life, and I needed to be in an incubator to help further my development. I had to wear a heart monitor for the first 6 months of my life, and it would go off several times during the day and at night, and it really worried my parents. My mom was my primary caregiver for the first 2 years of my life, and she had me when she was 27 and never really had experience with other infants before I was born. My mom said that even though my parents were very stressed about the monitor and me being so little, I was a very chill and calm baby. I was very happy, very loving. I accepted care from others and strangers. I just wanted to be held by anyone. But I really loved being held, specifically by my parents as well. I was very easy baby to take care of, except when I was about 3-4 months old. My mom said that I became very colicky at night, and I would cry for about an hour for no real reason. But I didn't really cry too often outside of those that month or so, maybe except when I was in the car, but I'll talk about that in a second. In my first year, I was behind developmentally, physically, but by about 2 to 3 months, I was behind. But at 1 year old, I caught up. I could grasp, I can roll, I can lift myself, all the basic normal benchmarks of the age. My mother said I was never behind mentally, though. I was very aware of my surroundings. My mother said that that it was also a very hard time for them because I was so little and born premature. They were stressed because they had just moved when I was born. My parents were stationed in the Netherlands, and the base had closed down, and they had just moved to New Jersey and settled in about a month prior to my birth, and then I was born early, so that was another stress on top of them. They were stressed and scared because they didn't really know what was going to happen, if I would live or die. They couldn't really enjoy the bliss of being new parents, first-time parents. Spoiler alert, I'm here, I'm okay, but at the time it was very difficult for them. If I felt like all my needs were met, like I feel very adjusted now. Perhaps maybe my parents' stress and worry caused me to adjust somehow and not really wanted them to stress out any more than they already were. A counselor in this time would have been very beneficial to my parents to help them deal with stress and cope with the potential grief of losing a child. A counselor would have also been nice during this time to help my parents deal with that stress of me waking them up constantly when I was wearing the heart monitor. Also, my aunt did say that I cried a lot when I was in the car for the first couple months of my life. I didn't like car rides, I guess. Maybe a counselor could have worked with my family to help compensate and learn how to adjust in the car. Thank you. That's stage 1.